The mid-morning sun shimmers over a green carpet of maize farms, the thorns that once crackled, now replaced by green maize leaves that swish in the wind. This is the Hola irrigation scheme, a 500 million shilling project launched by the government to spearhead the fight against hunger. Situated right along the shores of Tana River that snakes along the coastal plains, at least 2,200 acres of land have been rehabilitated since the project was commissioned, and the National Irrigations Board, which manages the scheme, hopes to bring on board some more 12,000 acres.
We are hoping that in the next two or 3 months, the size of this scheme will be up to 3,000 acres, and we can be able to produce even within one season up to 60,000 bags.
The crackling sound of the dried and mature maize leaves is one that is welcomed by any farmer here. It's harvest time for some farmers, a time for plenty. Harvesting has just started and gunny bags are already filling up with maize. Food production here programmed in cycles. In August 2009, a high-powered government delegation led by the President and the Prime Minister was here in Hola to revamp a scheme that has been defunct for more than 20 years. And as part of the hype, Kenyans were promised that with a shift to irrigation-fed agriculture, perennial food shortages would be a thing of the past. And it appears that almost 2 years on, the scheme has to some extent lived up to its expectations. To another extent, farmers here such as Aisha Hova, who is harvesting this time, offer us a glimpse into yet another paradox, that of scarcity in the midst of plenty. Most of the maize they grow is seed crop that is sold to the Kenya Seed Company, leaving them with just a little to share with their families and sell to the rest of the farmers in the scheme who are awaiting their turn to plant.
Sasa njaa ni nyingi. Tumelima lakini watu ni kidogo, hatutoshi wale watu ambao hakulima.
To get this crop harvest was no mean task. It's a back-breaking chore. And sacrifice is more of a requirement than a periodic phenomenon. With homes so far away from the scheme, the farmers were still trying to shake off poverty occasioned by over 20 years of non-productive seasons have to put up in these makeshift structures as they tend to their crop. And when the hanging orange haze of the sun is partially covered by the dark clouds, it's time to breathe the last of the long day and go home. But for farmers here in Umoja village, just a few steps from where a lush maize farm thrives, it's back home to empty stores and no food. The bulk of them made their last harvest in November last year. Under the natural light of the endless skies above, Magasan Hergai, popularly known as Osama by the villagers, sits with his children outside the hut and by the fireplace as they wait anxiously for the evening meal. And here he epitomizes the desperation that is the lives of farmers working in the scheme.
Lakini kama ni kidheri, hata hiyo kilo moja na kuchanganya na nusu maharage ama robo kidogo, wakikanyaga kwa vile meno hana nguvu sana yatachoka. Unaona sasa? Sasa akichoka atapiga kopo la maji, akipiga kopo la akamwambia naenda kulala mimi. Nitapambana kesho. Lakini sima atachanganya na mboga na kila kitu, akikumalizia atakwambia bado sijashiba. Ukiona, na ilikuwa wanasema tutalima mara 2 ama mara 3. Lakini sasa program zao zinakwenda mpaka inabidi kwa mwaka tunalima mara moja.
That the scheme has somewhat changed their lives for the better is not in doubt, but perhaps in his parting shot as the night grows older is a thought shared by most farmers across the Hola irrigation scheme, and one that could provide a solution to the food shortages.
Kama kilimo kingekuwa kina programu za haraka, Kenya inaweza supply chakula, haki ya Hola inaweza supply chakula kwa Kenya nzima.
Sasa pengine tukilima mwaka huu si tumevuna. Tunakaa pengine ni mwaka mzima hatujalima.
Na tukiwa na hizi miradi zote kubwa, tutaweza kusalisha chakula katika pande zote za Kenya, na tutaweza kuhakikisha kwamba chakula ya kutosha ya hii nchi inapatikana.
Sheila Sendeo, Citizen Live at 9.